Let me tell you the sexuality of women in their early 20s. Yeah, I'm a 33-year-old girl, so I've lived a life. I'll tell you. Sit back, relax. Listen to 5 facts about sexuality of women in their early 20s. And this also falls for girls who are, say, 18, because the as far as I'm concerned, the age for sexual maturity is from 18. Yeah. Firstly, younger women, I'm talking women in their early 20s, I'm not talking from 27 down, because those ones are already edging towards 30. So some of those 30 hormones are coming in, and the 20s is wearing out. So for women in their early 20s, firstly, they usually require emotional connection before they get intimate with a man. From 18, 19, 20, early 20s, yeah, she usually wants to be emotionally connected to a person, to a guy, before she can open up herself sexually towards him. Secondly, if you find a girl who's in her early 20s, say about 18 to the early 20s, having sexual interactions, usually it's just to explore, because at that time their sexuality is kind of like trying to stabilize. They're still trying to get used to their menstrual cycle and all of that going on within the woman body. The hormones be fluctuating here and there, plus coming out of the teenage years, entering adulthood. She might just want to be like, okay, let me explore, let me see what this guy can do. She's still kind of like fidgety about it, trying to take it bit by bit. She's more like when it comes to sex. You know what I'm saying? She's still all trying to understand men and their manhood and how it functions. Still trying to understand her cycle, her vagina, what stimulates her. She's still at that stage of exploring. So even if she indulges in sexual interaction, um, you might not be in for a swell time. I mean, because she's still learning. She's still trying to explore, to be honest. That's just the word. She's still trying things out. Yeah? Too. And this second point boils around the fact that sex for her at that time is not a need. Nah, usually not a need. She's good. Her hormones are actually very good without the sex. She really doesn't need sex to improve her mood, to be honest. So it's just to explore. Yeah. Thirdly, yeah, we're dealing with a girl at from the 18 to the early 20s. They're usually not sure or certain about their sexual needs, in the sense that you could get on intimate in terms of romance, foreplay with this younger girl, and while y'all are going and going and going, she could just cut at the middle of it. Like, she could be like, you know what, stop, what's going on here? That kind of question. I remember I tell you, I know this thing like the back of my fingers. When we are younger girls, it is like that. So you be like, your brain be telling you, are you sure you want to do this a whole lot of time, especially in between situations? And I can imagine there is nothing more frustrating for a guy than that. I got to understand that better now that I'm more mature compared to then. Then I'm like, what the heck? Why are you pissed off? I mean, I don't want it. I don't want it anymore. It doesn't matter to me that I led you on. It doesn't matter that, okay, we were getting on. I'm done. I'm done. So that's very typical for girls in their early 20s, late teens, early 20s. They're usually not certain of their sexual needs. Number 4 fact about a girl late teens and early 20s is she could feel pain based on the velocity or the vigorousness of the sexual penetration and or the size of the penis involved. So with younger females, yeah, their vaginal walls are not mature enough, they're not equipped enough, yeah, to handle various kinds of penises. Let's put it that way, because the walls there are still maturing. In as much as we'll say yes, they are grown girls, they aren't babies. As a matter of fact, some of us had kids. I had my children when in my 20s. Yeah, I had my first child when I was 27. But I mean, for crying out loud, I'm no more in my early 20s then. So I had my children towards my late 20s. Even at 27, my vaginal walls weren't as firm and built as it is now that I'm 33. So you can now imagine when I was 18, 19, 20. My goodness. Little things hurt. There are certain penetration strength, velocity, and vigorousness in terms of the sexual act that I will not be able to pull through. which is very common among my friends and girls my age as at then. We just get to find that things hurt more, and especially it's even worse if you're not really feeling the guy like that. Like everything just goes down the drain. It's like you're on fire. It's like there's pepper in there. So if you haven't happen to be experiencing, such with women of that age, it is what it is. Yeah. And lastly, a girl in her late teens, early 20s has better control of her has better control of her sexuality. What I mean is of her sexual desires and her sex drive, to be honest. At that time, it can be controlled. Let me just say it's under control. She has all of the willpower to be like, I do not want to have sex, I only want to kiss, for example, and I wouldn't take it to the next stage, and she would definitely sustain and maintain and hold it. And you, the guy, gonna be like, oh girl, you strong. Yes, that's what is common with younger women. We see that we're able to control our sexuality and our sex drive at that time. We're not usually very easily lured into sex just like that. You know how and the next video you should watch is women in their 30s. I do not even want to go into it here in this video. So yes, watch out for that video. So women in their 20s, yeah, they're very, very, very in control. So don't think you're gonna trick that girl into getting down. If she don't want to get down, she ain't gonna. She ain't gonna. You cannot even confuse her. You cannot convince her. Don't worry about it. I hope you learned a thing or two from this one. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'll see you in the next one.